Welcome back. I'm Abby Peel, your host this week. For several years, Newbury has been working to approve the construction of a new and needed fire station. The last vote was overwhelmingly in favor with 60% of the vote, but did not meet the required 2/3 majority to approve. At this year's town meeting, the community will vote again on a scaled-down proposal. Let's hear about it.
So now this is actually only one of 5 facilities that's housing our fire apparatus at the moment. So as you can see, there's 4 trucks in this station here. We do have a substation on the north part of town that's housing one other piece of apparatus, and then our boat 1 and other equipment is stored among 4 other facilities in town. So what you're seeing here is really just a portion of the equipment that we have today, and doesn't include any of our future plans and upgrades. But no, obviously you'd like to have as much equipment in one place as you can, centrally located like this department is in the center of town. All of our gear is housed in gear racks along the side of the bay, and that's no longer in code, national code compliance with where personal protective equipment should be stored inside of a bay. So you can see there's actually diesel exhaust that gets sprayed directly onto the turnout gear that our firefighters have to wear, right? The trucks are stacked in this facility, so there's only 2 bays, and the bays themselves are actually way smaller than they need to be for current firefighting apparatus and equipment. So we actually have to custom order all of our fire trucks now to make sure that they fit within the bay that you can see here. So the size of the bay is too small, and then as you mentioned, they're stacked. So in order to get to one of the trucks behind me, you've got to remove these 2 vehicles first. So for every structure fire and mutual aid response, we actually just have to move these trucks out first, costing us precious minutes of response time to get to the vehicles behind. Since none of our communities in this part of rural New Hampshire have enough equipment to fight a full structure fire on their own, we rely heavily on all of our mutual aid partners as they do us. And so it's really, really important to cultivate those relationships and make sure that we're providing the service to the surrounding communities that they provide to us. So if we're required to respond to mutual aid, if the tone were to go off right now, we would have to get dressed, is pull these two trucks out and around the building, and then pull the remaining trucks out onto the apron in order to respond. This current facility lacks any type of decontamination location, and as we mentioned earlier, all of our apparatus, all of our equipment, all of our personal protective equipment is stored in the bay with the trucks. So that should be, by new codes, that should be its own corner of the building, isolated from both the trucks and any training or living area that's in the firehouse as well. So that's not happening now. So unfortunately, the numbers on firefighters and cancer are just staggering. So whether you're call, volunteer, or full-time, 2/3 of firefighters are going to face some type of a cancer diagnosis in their lifetime, and it's been proven, it's been directly linked to the cancerous and hazardous materials that we're exposed to in structure fires, and unfortunately even the diesel fumes that come off of our trucks. Firefighters respond to the station now. They'll come into the bay area, they'll get their equipment, they'll gear up, and then they leave on the trucks. When they come back, it's just the reverse, right? And unfortunately, we park out back. We have to go right through our training area. So you're coming and going through the training area with your equipment on that's heavily contaminated. We have no decontamination facilities. Then they're taken off and stored next to the trucks that are putting out the diesel fumes. So even if they're clean, we hang them right back, and then they get hazardous materials put right back on them again. In the new facility, there'll be a separate entrance. In that entrance, firefighters will respond to the station, park, go into the separate entrance where they gear up, then they go out onto the bay floor where they enter the apparatus and respond to the scene. And then it's the reverse on the way out, as well as a separate decontamination area where they can rinse off, hose off, then properly clean the gear, use the showering facilities, and then keep everything separated so that it meets current code and protects firefighters as much as we possibly can. So the current firehouse is at a 3-way stop, right? So we're on 103 and 103A with one stop sign. There have been numerous incidents and accidents over the past 10 and 20 years in the area. There's no line of sight around the corner through Bubba's and by the harbor. So unfortunately, sometimes people pull through pretty fast, and it's kind of a blind corner. So as our firefighters are both responding to the firehouse, and then as trucks are leaving, there's a a blind corner, and so that will be eliminated in the new facility as well. So we'll be on a nice straight path with great visibility in both directions, no intersection. So this current plan, the one that's going before the voters this year, is 100% supported by the membership and the committee that worked really hard this past year to make sure that we put forth a project that we really think is going to both take care of the needs today and in the foreseeable future.
Thank you for the effort to help us understand the needs and solutions.